It's John and Rachel from YaJagoff. We are podcasting. You know it is summer whenever we say we are podcasting from our porch tours. So porch stop number 1 takes us to South Park, which means bridges and tunnels and things that I don't know about because I live in the north and we don't go to the south. So I'm so excited to be here in South Park. What a gorgeous atmosphere. We will show you pictures of how beautiful just the rock and the architecture of all the amazing things in the backyard. Great people here with us. And as always, we want you to get, as John would say, get your food, get your English muffin, your coffee, whatever it is that you want to kind of hang out with so that you can watch and see all the behind the scenes. Right now, the podcast will come out on Tuesday or Monday, wherever you get your podcasts. And we're going to kick it off with one of our absolute favorite musicians. Now, I do mom this, but I will tell you, Tim Vitullo and Mark Ferrari are 2 of our absolute faves. So Tim is no pressure, just sing really well.
That's rarefied air, yeah. So I'll do my best to live up.
Enjoy yourself some Tim Vitullo. Tim, before you start, where can everybody find you and follow you?
Yeah, so you can check me online. It's timvitullo.com. That's V as in Victor, I, T as in Tom, U-L-L-O.
Do it.
And at Tim Vitullo on social media.
Is that because you didn't know what you stood for?
Yes.
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 Well, I was too. I was waiting to find out.
Umbrella.
Unicorn.
Yes, unicorn. There we go.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Well, I've been kicking around for 3 decades or so, searching for the new sound of my car stereo. But those 4-inch speakers can't play a song worth their weight in gold. So I keep spinning the dials, my left arm turning out the driver's window. Will send my body sailing down the river. And when I pass the point, toss a quarter in the fountain bowl. When there's no other way to escape the feeling, the Monongahela Valley will swallow you whole. Thunder crashing on the night rolls right along. Oh, even rain can't stand it here for too long. And tight-letting hands, they shape, manipulate our only course. Hope broken down behind a city hell bent on divorce. Send my body sailing down the river. And when I pass the point, toss a quarter in the fountain bowl. There's no other way to escape the feeling that the Monongahela Valley will swallow you whole. Close to satisfied until I feel the heat of the Fayette sunrise. Put a little color in my cheeks, make me close my eyes. Imagine dancing in the fields, the wind rushing through the ride. Send my body sailing down the river. And when I pass the point, toss a quarter in the fountain bowl. There's no other way to escape the feeling that the Monongahela Valley will swallow you whole. The Monongahela Valley will swallow you whole.
Oh, Nice.
Right, he's one of my favorites.
Thanks, Kenny Loggins, for coming to the YaJagoff Podcast.
He's so much better than Kenny Loggins.
Tim, thank you. One more
Kenny
time.
Loggins had like one hit,
Yeah,
right?
check me out online,
What was Kenny
timvitulo.com, at Tim Vitulo on social media.
There are pierogies and Ernie Ritchie's hot sausage. What of those would make you better to sing later?
Oh, man. A little hot sausage.
Okay. All right. I got
There you
it.
go. All right, John.
All right. So this is how we start the podcast, right? Get the best experience of customer service and maintenance of your Rorick Advantage at the Service Center on West Liberty Avenue.
Visit RorickHonda.com for all of your vehicle needs and check out our blog posts, which usually are about driving or parking or John having road rage in Pittsburgh. And now we start the YaJagoff Podcast from Scott's house in South Park.
Yeah, we'll just say that
South
because
Park.
it's live on Facebook, and we don't want people showing up to eat our Ernie Ritchie sausage
Well,
and take Scott's prizes.
And it's People's Gas Porch Tour stop number 1.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, when you hear the edited version, you hear people say YaJagoff, 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 and then we say it's John and Rachel. This is the YaJagoff Podcast. If you're listening for the very first time, we appreciate it. You would subscribe and maybe even go say something nice over on iTunes or wherever you can make a comment. So
If you have nothing nice to say, don't.
yeah.
That's all I
Right,
say.
right.
You can message us just on how to be better.
We
What was
would-
on the blog, John
Well,
Chamberlain?
I was going to say, we also appreciate if you listen to us on Q92.9 every Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. for YaJagoff on Q, where
There
we
you
tell
go.
Pittsburgh stories, as you always say.
Pickles and Giggles out of the gate. Huge event. John and I have been tasked with actually helping produce this with the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership. Pickles and Giggles is back. They were here last year with a ton of different comedians. But this year, to kind of keep the tradition going, we thought, let's keep it small. Let's keep it simple. But let's kick off Picklesburg with Pickles and Giggles. So we're calling it a PG-13 event because it's Pickles and Giggles, PG, $13 for tickets. It doesn't get any better than that. It's Colin Chamberlain headlining. He lives in New York now. And Ray Zawadney, who also lives in New York. They're coming home to do a fun hometown little thing. And tickets, again, are $13 right there at the Playhouse at Point Park University. So we're really excited for that. That's Thursday, July the 20th. And then come see us at Picklesburg, July 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, where we execute the pickle juice drinking contest. It's loads of fun, I would say.
Do not throw up on us if you're one of them.
We wear shields just in case.
Right, right.
Also, front row for fireworks. You really did.
Yeah, we wrote a YaJagoff blog post about people who try to get in the front row for fireworks. Do they not understand
But you
that the
did that.
fireworks are in the air?
I know, but you
Right?
did that because you were one of the people who pulled up on 65 to get.
But I didn't cut in front of
Footage.
anybody.
Okay.
I didn't cut in
Fair enough.
Right. So
Fair enough.
people, fireworks are in the air. You don't have to have the front row.
We also jagged around with Chef Alvarez, which is hysterical because I know when John put these notes together, he voice to texted. Here's how I know. It said jagging around with Jeff Alvarez. And I was like, his name's not Jeff. So I changed it. It's Chef Alvarez, Andrew Alvarez over at Swickley Sweetwater Center for the Arts. It's a fantastic place. And they have some great culinary opportunities that you need to check out. And it was a fun video to do.
Little video as well for the Daydulum lunch. Daydulum launch. Oh my God, I just read it wrong.
We had
The
lunch at Daydulum,
launch,
yeah.
Which is this cool thing. It's going to be here in Pittsburgh for 8 weeks down at the backyard, which is off of Fort Duquesne Boulevard right next. Turn right at the Goodyear store, and it's super
literally
cool.
right there.
We'll just tell you go look at the video on our blog, but really go down there, pay the money to go see it. And while you're going through it, you may hear a couple of voices that you know because we've been asked to narrate the silent disco kind of track.
Yeah, we're
for
pretty
you,
excited for
YaJagoff.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
All
you
right,
go.
so
Tell us who your friend is.
So Scott Lewis, grab a microphone there. Scott, thank you for being, let's see, I think how we got to this point is that last year you applied to have your porch in, but you got in too late. So
That's
this
correct,
year
yeah.
you're like, when is this starting? And so here you are. You're
You
first
were
on
early.
the roster.
You were
I
early
know.
this year. That's how you
Well,
got in.
Right.
No, here's how you got in. You have a gorgeous porch. So if someone wants to know how does this even work out, we saw your pictures and we're like, oh my God, it's absolutely gorgeous. Describe what was
Thank you.
the impetus behind this?
So we used to have a deck up here,
Okay.
and it was ugly.
Okay.
And a friend of mine was coming over. They were going to do some work, put a sidewalk in, and her name is Corey Pranovich, and she's the one that designed all this for us. And she said, Scott, she goes, this isn't going to work. I had water going up into the house. She said, she came up with a design. She goes, trust me, you just pay me and I'll get it done. So she was the one that designed the wall. She put in the water feature for us. We weren't expecting that. We were actually going to do a wall the whole way around it. She said, no, we were going to do a water feature there.
Okay.
She put in the concrete pad. It's stamped concrete. It's antiqued. So, and unfortunately, sometimes the birds like to sit in the trees above us because we have a lot of. So we have to take care of that.
But
You
it's
pointed out that
perfectly
there was a
shaded.
live frog in there, bigger than my
Yeah,
hand.
our friend Harold.
Oh,
and-
there's two. Wait,
Two.
do you want to come on over? Oh,
No,
no,
she
no.
doesn't.
Oh, okay.
and Harold was actually named by one of our good friends, Michelle Klinger Smith. She said that looks like a Harold last year. So, and he stayed all winter
Harold.
long.
There you go.
There you go,
Yeah.
Harold.
So,
We have a new frog. Henrietta
Come on.
and Harold.
Oh,
look, come on, come on.
come on, I'm going to shame you into this. Come on. Come on.
So these are our homeowners, and while Scott's wife comes on over, is it Lynn?
Yes.
Lynn, and it so Lynn.
Courtney,
come on
he
in.
remembered Lynn.
Right, Jen. And so, anyways, you get prizes. So first of all, thanks for joining our porch tour. As you know, we're raising funds and items for Zachary's mission. Zachary's mission puts these Zach packs together in honor of Zachary, who passed away before getting home from the hospital. And this is to help families who have extended stays. And the folks
In
who-
hospitals, yeah.
What Rob and Patricia noticed when Zachary was in the hospital was that they didn't have shampoo, toothpaste. They would get what they got from the hospital, whatever. So in honor of Zachary, they put these Zach packs together, which now all the nursing staff and the hospital social workers know that when the family's in there for a long stay, they should maybe have a Zach pack dropped off. So you guys, we will not show what you've collected because this is porch tour number 1, stop number 1, and we don't want the other competitors to see what you've collected because that would be cheating on their behalf. They're like, oh, we have to get one more gift card than that. Anyways, in the meantime, because you're doing all that, we give you prizes.
So there you go.
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
some things
Do you
are
wanna
frozen because the ice cream from Cookie Ice Cream is starting to melt, and the all things empanadas were starting to thaw. So we were like, get these in your freezer. But this is the least we could do, and we love to patron small businesses, so we thought this was the perfect
So
opportunity.
you get something
Thank
from
you so
Cookie Ice Cream. You'll get in the mail. You get something from Mary Mac Bakehouse. These homemade pancake mixes and muffin mixes. You get tickets to the Irish Festival, which happens later this year.
September. Yep.
'Cause I'm
Dryer
Irish.
Vent Wizard gave you a little box. Yeah. And all things empanadas.
There is a
Rachel
dryer
said.
in here. You didn't even know it.
Yeah.
You
right.
open it
Nice.
and it pops out. They shrink it. Yeah.
You just put your shirt in there and
Is
shake
it dehydrated?
Yes.
You add
I
water?
couldn't think of the word. Yes, that's exactly it. It's like a chia pet.
John, why didn't we think of that years ago?
Right,
We wouldn't be doing this today.
right,
We'd be
right.
Chia pet
retired.
dryer vent. Yeah. So
But-
yes, all the wonderful goodies, Spectrum
Good, thank
Fudge, Cookie Ice Cream. So we're happy to be here.
And you got some YaJagoff coffee.
Listen,
Awesome.
Oh,
you will love it.
Awesome.
Tell us what we can expect out here. Do you guys host all the time? Are you the house that people come to?
Sometimes we do. We're pretty good. We have our most of the friends we have here. They're all baseball friends. We've
Okay.
since like they're 7 years old. Our kids have played baseball together, so we were formed a really tight bond of a good group of people, great parents, great kids, and so we go to different houses all the time. Like during football season, 3 or 4 times a year we go to someone's house for the football game, and we'll just order pizza and wings and that for that kind of stuff.
eat and drink.
Eat and drink.
Okay.
Typical.
That's what it's all about, right?
Typical Pittsburgh stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's very cozy because I feel like it is Pittsburgh, but it looks rural because of the very high trees back
Yes.
here and your little pond and Harold and what is it?
Henrietta.
Harold and Henrietta.
Yeah. Well, when we bought the house too, that I mean, what, almost
1999.
1999.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So, and that's one thing we liked about it is that
I didn't
our
sing.
neighbors aren't right backed up against us. We're in a cookie cutter type thing.
Sure, sure.
And they got a lot of room back there.
Sure.
And, there used to be a play set up there for whenever Brandon was young, and swings
Sandbox
and
and
that, sandbox.
Okay.
And we loved the backyard was the selling point of the house. For
Yeah,
us.
I bet.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then, I had this great idea about building this deck, and that was
And it was ugly, we heard.
No, it was beautiful.
it was
when it
beautiful
stayed.
at first.
Oh,
Beautiful
okay.
when it stayed, but
Hey, we all are at some point
Yeah.
in our day.
Who says that?
Like, what? This is why I need to be here for balance.
Yeah.
So, you guys are in the South Park area. Rachel from the North Hills, me, West Hills, kind of grew up. But for those that,
Come on, John. You're from McKees
Yeah,
Rocks.
yeah.
Let's be honest where
right,
you're from.
right. So we want to know, Yinzers never cross a bridge, let alone 2 bridges to go anywhere. If they come out to South Park to hang out with you guys, if we're not at your porch, where are you taking us? Where's our pizza?
Yeah, what are
Where's
your
our
staples?
yeah?
What's so great about
Oh,
South
Yeah,
well.
Park?
Louisiana.
You better sell me on it because I'm not a big
Right.
South person.
Well, if you want a great fish sandwich, we'd go to Doritos.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. best anywhere.
Is that like all the time or during Lent? Or you
All
Lent
the
all the
only?
time?
Okay,
All
cool.
the
Okay.
time of
Okay.
year, yeah.
Okay.
And pizza, I got to put a shout out to Luciano's in Bethel Park. Tim Cross is the owner. I've known since I was 5-6 years old. He made a really nice donation to Zachary's mission. So
I love when
I got to put a good pun in for him. And
Yeah.
Best pizza ever.
yeah.
Really?
Is that right?
Okay.
And a pasta salad.
Okay.
It's amazing.
All right.
I
Is
love
there a
small
bakery,
businesses.
bar? Where's your watering hole?
As a hand, like
Backyard,
here.
usually backyards or a
Okay.
bar.
Yeah, I
At
love
our
that.
age,
Yeah.
we like
Yeah,
like
all right,
backyards,
I got it.
people's
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so easy to just
Who
do it in
wants
your
to button
backyard.
their
when-
pants?
Where,
Right. Like
Yeah.
you could just sit in your backyard. No one knows
That's
what's
funny.
going on. It's
Plus,
perfect.
there are no
much easier.
fights there,
Yeah.
right? You just
Yeah,
don't.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you know.
You can be as loud as you want.
There you go.
Yeah,
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
And you know what? The best part about that is it doesn't close.
Yes.
Yeah,
there you
that's
go.
right.
Yeah.
Stay
There you
out
go.
until 3
I like-
a.m.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, we'll be
yeah.
out.
Meanwhile,
love
we're in
it.
bed by 11 because it's, we're old
Yeah.
now,
Right.
but
Well, we appreciate you guys hosting
we
us and
appreciate
appreciate you getting into the contest for Zachary's mission. We haven't even defined the ultimate prize yet, but it's usually really good. And
here's the hint
we
I'll
have like
give.
layers of it. We're adding to it each week.
Yeah, the hint I will give is we were like, can we contact Demicolon? And then we said, Crystal Van Jura from Van Jura Kitchens needs to know about this. And she texted me back. So
So do you
Let's just
know
hope,
they
yeah.
do?
you're getting a new kitchen.
Yeah, with and it's
I got one
dehydrated
3
like the
years ago.
dryer.
Right.
Do they do bathrooms?
They don't.
Oh.
They do. They
Unless
sell
you want
all
a
their
microwave in there. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. You guys, thank you so
Hey,
much for
can I
having
put
us.
a can I
Yeah,
put a
you can
quick,
do whatever.
Absolutely,
plug in
do
for
whatever.
Zachary's missions.
Yeah.
See, our family's been intimately touched by this organization because they support all the neonatal ICUs. And
Yep.
our son was born with
Primary pulmonary
hypertension.
Oh wow.
And he was on a ventilator for 10 days in the NICU, and there were some days that were back and forth. My brother's son, Isaac, was born
1 day before our son.
1 day before our son, and she had a placental eruption.
Oh wow.
And he had some touch and go days. And our heart star is Mason from State College. He couldn't be here today, unfortunately. He was born with truncus arteriosus, which required him to have surgery a week after he was born.
Oh my God.
Dr. Morrell, Children's Hospital, did a great job. He had another surgery a couple of years later, I believe, and just last month had his third surgery. They replaced the conduit. As he grows, they have to replace it all the time. And he was actually chosen to be the American Heart Association ambassador for congenital heart defects.
Oh my gosh.
So you'll see him on pictures and
Listen,
stuff like that.
it's Pittsburgh, right?
So anyone that wants to donate, I put a link on my Facebook page, but please, it's a great cause. And
Wow.
it's directly affected my family. So
That's pretty awesome.
appreciate
Wow.
what you do.
It's going to give me
Wow.
goosebumps.
Well, we
Wow.
appreciate you guys. I truly have goosebumps.
Yeah,
And-
and you've seen it. You're a healthcare professional, and
Yeah,
you've seen.
unfortunately,
yeah,
I've seen
right,
it a little
right,
too much. So,
Yeah.
but,
well,
No, that means a lot, and we appreciate.
Yeah.
We always say there's so many nonprofits, specifically in Western PA,
Yes.
and you can only help so many people so often. And Zachary's
right.
mission is certainly a good cause.
And our families, we're blessed. I mean, but there truly are a lot of other families, aren't there, that aren't as fortunate as what we are.
Sure.
And they have to be off work. Because I understand about being at the hospital.
Yeah.
Whenever your newborn's sick, it's
Yeah.
you don't want to be anywhere else.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Leaving for the
but-
day is heartbreaking.
that's
You just
Patricia
wanna
and Rob's
stay.
story. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yep.
because
Yeah.
they actually had to transfer the baby, and Patricia had to stay where she was because she wasn't healthy.
Can't even
So
imagine.
Rob, she had to be away from the baby, and Rob had to sit with the baby.
They
So
actually let
Zachary.
her stay in a hospital an extra day or two.
Yeah.
Because it was still that touch and go. So they said, we're going to keep you admitted. That way, you could stay. I slept down there, and it was
Wow.
interesting. So,
Well,
Well, thank you. We
thank you
appreciate
guys.
it.
That's
You
pretty
guys are
awesome.
wonderful.
Thanks for letting us invade your neighborhood.
oh, you're welcome. You know what I was thinking? You know where we should do the next one at?
What? Where?
Condo at Seven Springs. I know some people that could really liven it
A
up
condo
for us.
at Seven Springs.
Yeah, remember the stat parties?
I would remember that there was one party that had 5,000 Jello shots. I'm not kidding.
Where did this go?
I'm not kidding.
I
we
was
went
there.
from Zachary's mission.
And
to
those Jello
John's
shots
doing
ended
Jell-O
up
shots.
smashed onto the wall and laying all over the yard and into the carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ugly. The
Yeah.
next day was ugly.
Yeah, I remember Jim was not too happy.
Right.
Yeah.
So no, we'll go to Seven Springs maybe for one on a porch, but we will not take Jello shots.
So listen, I think they sort of answered the question of the day. Can we change it
Do
up
it.
a little bit?
Yeah, do it.
All right. So we do these tailgates, but since we're doing a porch tour, if you were going to someone else's porch, what would you bring? What's your signature? Like, oh, we got to bring Lynn's.
Halushki.
Oh,
There you
is that
go.
right? Is that
Why?
what we
What
have
do you
here
do?
today?
But ask her who taught her how to make the
Oh,
halushki.
okay.
Oh, you Scott?
He was the volunteer fireman.
Okay, what's
And-
the key to it?
Lots of butter.
Oh,
Lots of pepper.
Okay.
So
Really?
Lots
it's
of
not
onions.
healthy, but it's so
It's
good.
not healthy.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Is anything that's healthy
I think I
good
just saw
ever?
Josh
Like-
eating it, as a matter of fact. Did you have that?
He
Oh,
said,
yeah,
yeah,
look, he
thumbs
gave the
up.
big thumbs
That's
up.
awesome.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys,
sweet.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Oh,
so
you're welcome.
much.
Thanks.
We appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much.
Yeah.
Thank
Good
you.
luck in the
All right.
contest.
Listen, we're going
Thank
from
you.
halushki to hot dogs because we have quite the hot dog cart that we're going to chat it up about. So
Yep.
that's what's coming
and
up next.
coming up next, some music from Tim Vitullo.
Come on over, guys. Yep.
All right. Hot doggies.
Hot dog, hot dog. Listen, did you notice that when he said he moved in 1999, I did not sing, "Gonna party like it's 1999."
I knew. I was expecting it to-
and I even said it.
Like,
John.
I almost heard it in my virtual
You did.
earbud.
He heard
Right.
it a little bit.
All
bit.
right. All right. John and
Tammy.
Tammy. Sorry. Okay, great. All right. Coming back, and you guys just hold them real close, like kind of like this.
Hold
And
me
then,
closer,
cool.
son.
All right, here we go. All right.
Go ahead, John.
No, you go.
Welcome. We're so happy to meet you. Tracy has been talking about you guys, and we hear that this cart is pretty. Listen, John is the new follower. He's trying to find out where you're going to be as far as a pop-up, because this is an actual cart, right? It's not a food truck. It's a cart that you're taking. And what's it called?
Yes, it's called Doodle's Dogs.
Love this. Where did you come up with the concept? Are you hot dog people? Do you just like them?
I retired
Okay.
and I just needed something to do, and I always wanted to do a hot dog shop
Okay.
and just
Who wants the real estate?
right. You
Okay.
can't- exactly what it is. You can't afford it.
Sure.
So we come up with the idea. We got a deal on a cart last year and started then.
Okay, so tell us, what is the difference for people who truly don't know between gutting a mobile unit and then getting a cart? Is that the expense difference as well from like a food truck to a cart?
Yes.
Okay.
But a cart itself, it's just wide open, so you don't
Okay.
have no walls or nothing. You're just in the air with an umbrella or a tent above you. That's it.
And is it easier to transport versus kind of like, oh, I have a full food truck and I need to kind of schedule to be somewhere? You can
Yeah.
kind of pop up, right?
Yes, I just put it on the back of my car and take it to wherever I got to go to.
That's awesome.
So, what is the impetus for this thing? You know,
He's retired and he wants to have a hot dog.
you just yeah, that's it. Yeah, is that it? I
Yeah.
mean, is it that simple? That,
Yes.
Because it's funny because I do think of like my retirement job is a hot dog cart or something. Like it just seems like it'd be
I
fun
just
to
got
just
kicked.
kind of do that.
Right.
Problem is, I'd probably eat my profits, but that's it. I mean,
That's
so
all it was. I was
yeah.
retired, bored, something to do, and go out during the summer, spring, summer, and
It's a nice way to meet new people,
Yeah.
and John's very talkative. He's friendly. You get to interact with a lot of different folks, meet different people of all walks of life. So meeting and being on the north side and going to different locations is really nice because we go to East Street Bear, which is typically on the north side, right by the intersection of East to High Street and East Street.
Yeah.
Not far from there, and then we go to Lestowalk's auto mechanic shop in
That's
Troy
what
Hill.
he saw. Okay.
And that's where we're from. We're from Troy Hill.
Okay.
So we typically go up there because it's nice. We're in the area. A lot of our folks are elderly. They can't get off of the hill. They don't drive. So it's a nice way to see our neighbors. They come and have lunch with us. So it's really
were you
cool.
fans of hot dogs, or did you?
oh yes,
Yeah, is
Tula's,
that right?
Tula's
Okay.
hot dogs and jelly.
Oh,
Tula's
Tula's
was
great.
it. That's
Oh
it.
my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. I'm from the
Everybody
north
knows.
side
That is
also,
a
guys.
times
We're in our
two.
own little
That
tribe.
is
So
a
you
times
know.
two.
Yeah.
Tula's hot dogs and a chocolate shake.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
There you go.
Strawberry.
Oh my God.
Strawberries.
Oh, okay. That's so funny. So the super cool. I'm just so intrigued now. Who comes up with the idea? Do you go, Tammy? I got this idea. Like, and she looks at you like you have two heads. Does Tammy go, hey, let's? What happens?
No,
What's
I
the
just
revelation?
pretty much said I was just going to start.
And Tammy, what's your
hot dogs.
reaction? You're like,
I'm still working. So when he came up with the idea, I was like, hey, go for it. Let's go. So we kind of like shopped around. We found the perfect cart, started all of the business last year, getting everything in line. And this is actually our first year. So
Yeah.
we've
And it went well?
It's so far so
Look
good.
good.
We have about 700 followers on Facebook. So yeah, we got lots of people asking us about private events. John will go to birthday parties, graduation, so it's kind of pretty nice.
Oh, here he goes.
Hello?
What is on the cart? Like, so what is the process?
Just hot dogs with kibasi are the
Okay.
foods, and then I have, of course, your ketchup, mustard, onion, pickle, relish,
Okay.
sauerkraut, chili and cheese, and jalapeno pepper.
So simplify, right?
Yes.
It's a simple process. Come get your hot dog. I love that
Yes.
you come in, Tammy, and he's like, I just love it. And you're like, let me take this over for a quick second. It is about the camaraderie also, because the more people learn about it, the
Right.
more they want to come. Like you said, I could see in the middle of the summer wanting to be in like West Park.
Right.
Take your hot dog, like kind of back
Right.
to the olden days
Right.
where this was kind of the fun lunch, right?
And we're fun and affordable. So like when you go out to lunch, you think, oh, lunch can be very expensive. We're not expensive. We come from a neighborhood that doesn't
Yeah.
have a lot of money.
Yep.
So we try to make it affordable and friendly for everybody.
So it's almost like a community thing more than it is a food thing, right?
Absolutely.
It's become that hub.
Absolutely.
Sort of like the Gus and Yayas of West Park, right?
Right,
Correct.
You
right.
want to be that, right?
Absolutely.
Because everybody just kind of gathers.
Yes.
And are there chips, pretzels as sides? What do we
Drinks.
do there? Drinks.
Yep,
Okay.
We just do
All
the
right.
basic, the hot dogs, kibasi, and drinks, just
Okay.
enough to everybody socialize and have lunch with us, and nice way to meet new folks.
How many hot dogs do we go through in a week? Well, I mean, you're just starting, so.
I probably close to 200 or more a week.
Okay. All right.
That's
Just
great.
starting off.
Yeah. That's good.
What's your day like now that you're kind of done? The retirement mode. Is it like I'm gonna get in my cart? Do you have specific hours, or do you?
Whenever I feel like
When you
it.
feel like it, I love it.
Whenever I feel like it.
Tammy, don't swing at him.
I'll
Yeah,
go-
she's like, I kind of hate him, but I'm going for it. You know.
Yeah, I'll go if I want to go whatever day it is. Oh, I'll go out tomorrow. We'll post it the night before to go out the day
Okay.
before, and we'll say 11:30 to 3 o'clock.
Right. So
Okay.
you call the hours.
Right.
What about the pop-up locations? Any reason for the two that you chose, and where else are you looking to go?
So East Street, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
East Street Bear is a friend of ours. The owner is a friend of ours, and that's where we started. So we started popping up there, and then this year, the guy that owns Les Walks, I invited John to come up there, and which we thought was a great idea. So those are usually our pop-ups, like typically. But if we're invited to someone else's private locations, we'll pop up there as well.
Okay. I
John
love
has
this.
a birthday party coming. Valentina
Yeah,
turns
right,
2 in
right, right.
September, and I think
love
it's
it.
at my parents' yard.
Is
so-
there? Are you particular on buns at all? Like just
No.
yeah, no. Okay, all right.
But
I just-
bread
I'm
works.
so
Difference in
into the
questions.
science of the hot dog cart, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
maybe I'll buy you out when you're done with your double retirement.
Right.
Chili
I'll
cheese
buy you
hot
out.
dog,
but-
you got to try it.
Josh, I need
No,
a
I
partner.
definitely wanted to, because listen, I loved Tula's.
He's leaving.
I was there probably once a week in my past.
We'll say
Yeah.
that's it.
Us
So yeah, so
I love it.
wow.
You guys, where can everybody find out more information about you?
Follow us on Facebook at Doodles Dogs.
Easy enough. I love the simplification of it all and just going back to what it was, right?
They're from Troy Hill. If you go up to the Artifacts Church, right up there in Troy Hill.
Yep,
I almost
St.
said Mount-
Anthony's.
Yeah,
St.
St. Anthony's. Grab a hot dog while you're up there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right?
We won't give your address so that they're not like, you might be sleeping.
Yeah.
You don't want people buying your hot dogs.
They'll be hungry like, where's John today? I need a fix.
I hear it every day. Somebody call. I need Doodles Dogs.
There you go. That's
Oh, we have to
awesome.
go have one.
Why the name?
That is my mother's name. So
What?
she
Look
passed
at
away, so I
that.
just went with Doodles and put the dogs behind it.
You
So
wait until
cute.
the end to hit us with a crying.
Well, thank God I
Come
asked that
on.
question because John's like,
Jesus.
what kind of bun are you
Yeah.
eating at? No, just
I
kidding.
love it.
You guys, thank you so much. The question of the day, I think I know the answer, but what are you known to bring if you are hosting something or if you are attending someone else's porch party?
Pretty much hot dogs.
Hot
the chili.
dogs? Fancy that. Chili.
I think you guys should, all
love
of our
it.
podcast people network, and I think you should network with Lynn to take her halushki to your
There you
hot dog
go.
cart.
John's
Right.
like, no
Lynn-
chips
Sounds
for
like
a
a good
side.
lunch.
There you go. You guys, thank you so
Thank
much.
you
for
so
coming
much.
Thank you so much for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
Yeah,
Have
you're
a great
the
day.
best.
Make
Music
sure
from
you're
Tim
listening.
Vitullo
Yeah.
next.
Tim Vitullo. And up next, Josh Axelrod, who apparently is becoming the next I'm and he'll be YaJagoff because John is leaving to pursue his career in a
The
cart
YaJagoff Hot
for
Dog Cart,
hot
a
dogs.
subsidiary of Doodles.
Oh my God.
Right. All right, so Josh Axelrod is here. Josh, we haven't seen you forever, and the night before this podcast occurs, we see you walking into Papa J's as we're walking out, and then we see you in
you
the
love it
driveway
there?
here.
That was my first time there.
Did you love it?
Yeah, no, I mean, the food's incredible. We were just picking up food from my wife, and I run into Rachel first, and then I run into John and his entire family on the way out. So I feel like I got to know you both really well
You
last
really
night.
did,
I
yeah.
met Rachel's son and
My oldest
literally
son.
every single person.
Yeah, right. You met my granddaughter, right.
I just want to shout out the cucumber. Hello, friend.
Hey.
Our music from dog name.
right.
Dog is fine.
I just wanted to shout out the cucumber cream gelato at Papa
Oh,
J's.
did you try it? Yeah.
It's amazing.
Sweet and cucumber don't feel like they would go well together, but I kind of was in love.
Couldn't believe it.
You know what? And that is something that Papa J's is going to serve at Picklesburg in the next couple of weeks. And Rachel and I have had a chance to try it, but it tastes like you're biting into cucumber water. It's so refreshing, but it's there's substance.
It was like a
right.
mojito, but gelato.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
good point.
Yeah, it's great.
They've been really working on the science of it and kind of seeing what goes with what. So I'm anxious to fast forward to Picklesburg.
Can I just say something really
You can
quickly?
say anything.
Sure.
I like this new
scared.
tradition we're building where you bring on these people with these really impressive jobs and heartfelt stories. Then you have me follow them with my entertainment BS.
Josh, listen, you know that I stroke your ego because I am no snob, but I am really particular about what I read, and you know you're my favorite writer. You know what I told Sean Collier? You're one of my favorite writers because Sean's up there, but you're my favorite.
So you're lying to one of us.
No. That's why I called out Sean
He
Collier.
loves it. Now, what's funny is that when we were
Sean's the man for the rest.
before we
I love
hit
Sean.
the record button, we said Rachel announced who you were, and a couple of people when they said, "Oh, you interviewed Jeff Goldblum," like, "Oh."
Twice.
Yeah.
That's
Who's
what,
counting?
That's what Rachel didn't say.
But those aren't the stories. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love hearing some people who you've interviewed. It's great, and I love that Pittsburgh's known for this. But your stories that are like the off-the-wall things are what I really dig. Or I always say this to you, I'm watching Yellow Jackets because of you. Season 2 is killing me. I won't watch it by my. I'm a
haven't
little bit
finished yet?
afraid. No, I'm afraid. My husband was away in the Czech Republic, so when he's back now, and we need to binge the rest of them. Don't tell me.
I'll just say that it went a little off the rails.
Yeah, but did you like it?
I am mostly positive about it. I have things
Okay.
it needs to do better next season, but also who knows when the next season is
Right.
going to be, given everything going on in Hollywood at the moment.
Yes,
But
isn't
so
that the
I'm
truth?
willing to give season 2 a little more time to breathe.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll like it more when I reflect on it. But
Yes.
You got to tell me what you think of the ending, because they made a bold choice that I don't necessarily love, but I could be.
You saw it.
Monica,
Can I deal? Am I going to be okay?
Yeah,
All
you'll be
right.
okay. I could be persuaded to like that choice come season 3, but I need to actually see what they do next to really evaluate it.
It's definitely going odd, but
Yeah.
I will say this: I know nothing about film, but they do that behind the scenes at the end, and it's incredible to see like how, like when they did the scene with the baby, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, a lot of shows do that now, and it's really helpful.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
HBO does it for almost all of its shows.
Okay.
It's really interesting to, like with the final season of Barry, it was really interesting to just hear Bill Hader talking about why he put all of his characters through all the trials
Stuff.
that they did.
Yes, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a really good question that I want to know about.
Which one is it?
The BET one.
Oh, yeah. So there's a
Ah.
BET series, yeah? And it's somehow related to Pittsburgh. Well, it's based in Pittsburgh, and I saw something about in one of your articles that it's related to Billy Gardell, but how is Pittsburgh? So Pittsburgh's the backdrop for, it's called The Average Joe.
Yes.
So tell me about that. How does Pittsburgh get into that?
Okay, so this show is wild.
Okay.
It was not on my radar until right before it was going to come out, and it was only because a very enterprising PR person was like, who I'd worked with before, was like, I have this other client on this other show that's Pittsburgh related. And I was like, how have I never heard of this?
Yeah.
And I looked into it, and I will be perfectly candid, I didn't know BET had a streaming service, so I learned a bunch of things all at once.
Same. Yeah.
But okay, from my understanding is the basic premise of the premise of the show is that this guy from Pittsburgh, his father dies, and then he finds out that his father had gotten on the wrong side of the Russian mob, and it becomes a wild goose chase for this money that could be somewhere. It's a little bit treasure hunter, a little bit just average people in wild circumstances way over their heads. The basic gist that. And again, I talked to the show's director, one of the show's directors and executive producers. I talked to its star, Dion Cole, who's a relatively well-known comedian. And then I talked to Catherine Barnes, who was the original impetus for getting me involved in this. My understanding is that the creator of the show is a guy named Rob Cullen. And he apparently had a very, not quite as wild of an experience as this show, but apparently when his father died, he also learned that his dad was into some shady stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so it was sort of similar.
Sort of similar.
Yeah.
And this guy also is Billy Gardell's best friend, apparently. And so the show was originally conceived, I want to say for Showtime, as a vehicle for Billy Gardell, which is why I guess Pittsburgh came into the picture.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know when it got retrofitted for a black family.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
it did, and as Eric Dean Seaton, the director and executive producer, told me, it kind of fit. It still fit perfectly.
Yeah.
And then it's set in Pittsburgh. The whole thing's filmed in Atlanta, but there are a couple of shots of the Pittsburgh skyline that will make you believe otherwise. They were digitally inserted, but and then there's some Pittsburghy stuff in it, like the guy's daughter is a rising freshman at CMU.
That's cool.
There's a subplot about Steelers season tickets. You can tell that
People throw Steelers in
Yeah.
just to.
Yeah. My only complaint is at one point somebody pronounced Carnegie Mellon the New York way, so you know that they didn't have a Pittsburgh consultant on set clearly.
Okay.
Yes.
But I also know that Eric, the guy I talked to, he talked to some other Pittsburghers he knew in Hollywood about this. Suhada Day, who
Yeah.
from Insecure, who also made a movie around here called the Spelling Bee movie, whose name is escaping
Yep.
me. I'm so sorry, Suhada.
No, I know
But-
who. I know exactly who it is.
But yeah, so he consulted with some Pittsburghers.
Because you
on
wrote
it.
about that, right?
I
Yeah.
did.
Okay.
Of course I did.
Of course. You did.
But yeah, no,
Aquila and the Beast?
no, not Aquila and the Bee.
Okay.
No.
Look at Monica. She
well, I
is
did
like
read what
all
you
over
wrote, but-
this.
Oh, she is the movie.
Definition, please.
Yeah.
Definition, please. That's what
came
it was
to
called.
it.
That's
Yeah.
what it was called.
You
Gotcha.
win another plate of Hulishki.
But no, Average Show is cool. It's, I think, 3 episodes in so far. I think it's going to be an 8-episode first season. Episodes every Thursday on BET Plus. And
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's not like super Pittsburghy, but it's also just fun.
Yeah.
It's a great summer show.
There you
go.
It's,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
really nice escapism, and I think there's some very interesting performances, and yeah, I'd recommend it.
Something
Nice.
that is Pittsburghy. John he wants an update on the Mr. Rogers neighborhood.
Saw that
Lego.
they made the cut, kind of, right?
Yeah, so I've now written 2 stories about this.
Yeah. I
didn't see this.
And I finally got a comment from Lego about it. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Nice.
So basically, this guy from New Jersey, his name's Matt Smith. He's just a very nice nerd.
Is that his hotel name or is that his
I
real
was just
name?
gonna
That's his
say.
real name.
Can you pronounce that? Okay.
That's
Ann?
his,
Yeah.
that's his real name.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
He,
Hotel name.
he just wanted to bond with his son over 2 things he loved: Legos and Mr. Rogers. He was a Mr. Rogers. He grew up, I want to say Tennessee, so somewhere in that neck of the woods. But
Okay.
he was still a Mr. Rogers kid, and so he wanted to share that with his son. And so they started building this Mr. Rogers Lego prototype. But eventually, he got so into it that he was like, I'm going to see if other people would be into it. And so what he did was he submitted his prototype to Lego Ideas, which is this initiative that Lego has where anybody can submit their homemade Lego sets. And if it gets the requisite number of votes and a couple other things happen, Lego might decide to build it and mass produce it. And so this guy put his Lego Mr. Rogers set on the site. It very quickly started taking off. I want to say 2 weeks ago on Friday, it hit the 10,000 votes it needed to go to the review phase. Which
That is so cool.
Yeah, which means so every set that hit 10,000 votes between the beginning of May and September 1st, I want to say, they all get thrown into this pot and Lego evaluates them. And then early next year, everyone will find out whether they're moving forward or not. There are
Okay.
a lot of
That
factors.
is so cool.
Yeah, there are a lot of factors that go into it, but Matt is over the moon. He just started this as a way to
Matt
Yeah, I love that.
Yes.
he started this
Yeah.
as a way to bond with his kid, and then now
Look at that.
I think the thing that gets him the most is that the Pittsburgh media just pounced on this.
Yeah.
I don't know that these Lego ideas generally get the amount of attention they get, but
Pittsburghers.
that's what happens if you do a Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
The Mr. Rogers brand is strong.
Yeah.
No question.
But yeah, I've now written 2 stories about it. I think I get to stand down now until I find out what's actually going to happen with it.
Yeah.
I think right now its stiffest competition is a Muppets set that also got 10,000 votes, and I think got it in a fraction of the time his did, which isn't this. He got his in 38 days, I think, which is nothing to sneeze at. But
Wow.
the Muppets versus Mr. Rogers is a cage fight.
That is.
We'll
it
take
really is.
We
Yeah,
will take
yeah.
the Muppets out.
Just don't throw a Fraggle
Yeah,
rocket.
listen,
and then
we'll
we're
get
all
rough.
Like, what the
We'll
heck
break
do
some
you do?
chairs.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
What else are you working on?
Oh boy, what
Anything
am
you want to chat about?
What am I
Anything-
not working on?
Right.
Well, are you into this new thread thing?
I am officially on Threads as of
Yeah.
a couple days
Okay.
ago.
What do you think?
Because you're a big Twitter guy.
I am. I think Threads so far is basically Twitter without the breaking news value, but just kind of a way to hang with your Instagram buddies in a more direct way. Like, I think once more like news makers actually end up on Twitter, I could easily see it just being easier to use and less problematic than Twitter has become, and I could see it taking over. I mean, I'm a little hesitant to let Mark Zuckerberg have a third successful social media site.
That's it.
Right.
But I gotta say,
Whatever.
it's clean.
It is clean.
I don't really understand how it works yet. If I'm being honest, I'm still playing with it. I've been on it for like 2 days, but I'm gonna start experimenting more with it and seeing if it actually helps people connect with my stories more. And
Okay, fair
the worst case scenario is people just don't use it, and the best case scenario is it legitimately usurps Twitter, which it probably already has in terms of like lovability. I don't know about like functionality yet, but it's on the right track.
Yeah.
Again, curse you, Mark Zuckerberg. But
Right, because listen, here's my YaJagoff blog post. A heads up is that we just talked about Mark Zuckerberg being a billionaire from this. I'm a capitalist. I love all that, but being a billionaire, can you not pay 20 or 40,000 people to just answer a god-darn phone call when I need help with my Facebook?
Well, I mean,
like, come on.
Well,
Here we go.
I think the funniest part of all this is that it seems like a lot of people that Elon fired at Twitter kind of went over and helped build Threads.
But they said no. Do you believe that?
No.
Yeah, I don't
I
believe
mean,
it
I
either.
have no inside information. I just don't
Same.
believe it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think it's funny that I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
they were
definitely some
going at it.
Schadenfreude involved there, but I don't know. Twitter at the moment for a journalist, I think, is still more useful just because people will break news
Headlining.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually that'll probably start happening on Threads, and we'll all have to
Sure.
get used to it. But
Yeah.
right now, I mean, Twitter is still Twitter,
Yeah.
but it's slowly becoming less useful by the day.
Got it.
So,
Gotcha.
I still love it. Yeah.
Yeah, John loves
I
it.
still love it.
Yeah, I can't
for
say I
news.
don't still love it, too.
Yeah.
Tell us
So-
what you're
for
working
sure.
on.
let's see.
Other than dogs and
I mean, there are some fun things and some not terribly fun things.
Okay.
I mean, I'm in a little bit of a dry period at the moment. I mean, I have a review of Mission Impossible 7 coming out. I saw it the other day. I've got some goodness stories, which aren't quite my beat, but are still just these like lovely little nuggets that I get to do sometimes that are coming out. But the main thing on my radar right now is figuring out what's going on with the state budget and how that affects the film tax credits.
yeah.
yes, right.
Because right now our local production community is waiting to figure out when they will get jobs next.
Yeah.
And that's tied to both whether the film tax credit gets expanded or not and what's going on with the writer's strike.
Yeah.
Yes, crazy,
And
right?
it's extremely crazy, and I've been just kind of waiting to see if anything breaks, but it doesn't look like anything's breaking anytime
Is
soon.
that right? I was going to say, sort of
So-
like, not to we want to give us a scoop here, but the writer's strike, it just doesn't seem like it's going anywhere at this point.
No, I saw something as of, I think, a night or two ago that was like zero progress has been made, and it's all about this AI issue, which is
Yes.
a very legitimate thing that I don't blame any creative for wanting to have protections against as that technology advances. Because right now it doesn't really. Right now we're just on the precipice of what it can do. I just saw an article this morning about how Gizmodo tried to do an AI article that became an albatross immediately because it got so much stuff wrong and it made all its writers sad. But in terms of Hollywood, the writers are just trying to be like, yo, you can't have a computer write our scripts. And now you have SAG-AFTRA also in negotiations being like, you can't digitally replace our faces. And it sounds like they could go on strike as early as, I think July 12th is when their negotiations are over.
Wow.
So that may strengthen the overall strike position. But locally, all that means is there are some things that I am semi-aware that we're supposed to come here this summer and still could. But the longer this drags on, the less likely that stuff happens, and that leaves our local production folks kind of in the lurch. So,
Can anything be produced that doesn't use a writer? I mean, I guess like this, we don't have writers. I mean, but is there
we write.
anything that a reality show? They all have writers.
Rachel
is
wants
that
to
right?
push back at the idea that you guys don't, right?
Do you see this? I don't.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean, it's all union based at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely have non-union work.
Oh, I got it. Yeah.
So that's, another
yeah.
conversation altogether.
Yeah, we're not
right,
having it.
Right.
Right. Yeah, well, but this is why Broadway hasn't shut down because I think they're different unions and their writer. I'm sure there's some crossover between the Hollywood writers and their writers,
Sure.
but they seem to just still be doing their thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that's crossing a picket line or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's lots of independent work that happens that's non-union,
I see.
and I mean it's interesting to see, like, because I also cover an independent film community that
Right.
kind of produces their own stuff, and it'll be interesting to see if they start putting out more work than Hollywood in the next couple months because they just
Right.
have more leeway to do so.
Right.
So yeah, basically, I'm just waiting to see how this is affecting us locally and how long it'll be affecting us. I mean, I just went out to West Mifflin to do that story on David Haddad's new soundstage
Oh, yeah.
that he finished out there. It's kind of buried in this little trailer park, but it makes more sense because all the trailers are his. They all have the Haddad's,
Right.
They all have the Haddad's logos on it, and it's kind of startling that so many are there because that means they're not in use. But the soundstage is beautiful. It's a little bit smaller than, like, say, 31st Street Studios, but
Sure.
it's state of the art, and it's gonna be nice for that community. But right now, there's nothing to go
It's
in
like
it.
opening a restaurant right before COVID. It's just bad timing.
I mean, you're not wrong. That's not a terrible analogy. Like,
Negativity talk with John
Yeah.
Chamberlain. Yeah.
and with Josh Axelrod, like, I
know. I'm like,
I wish the stories this summer were all of this work is still coming in, and
right.
Yeah.
It's the reality. Yeah.
I mean, on a more positive note, there is stuff that was filmed around here that's done, that's coming out in the near
Sure.
future that I've got my eye on. I'm waiting to be able to talk to the folks with Justified City Primeval because they did a little filming around here last summer for an upcoming episode. I think that premieres mid-July, and I don't know when the Pittsburgh stuff shows up, but I'm waiting for them to give me more info on that. We've got Drive Away Dolls, which is Ethan Cohen's movie.
Yep.
That's the first trailer for that came out a few weeks ago. It looks like a Coen Brothers movie. And that one's coming out in late September, I want to say. Might start playing the festival circuit. I will be going as hard as I can on that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Still waiting to hear what's up with American Rust season 2 because that
I was
completed.
gonna ask you that wasn't on here.
That completed filming right before
Right.
the strike started. So I don't know what that does to post production.
Gotcha.
The goal was for it to hit Amazon Freevee sometime this fall. So I'm keeping up with that. And then Netflix, they made Rustin and The Deliverance, 2 movies. They stopped the Pittsburgh production on both of those, I want to say, a year and a half ago, like maybe 2 years. And they've just been Netflix has just been holding them, and I'm just waiting to. Rustin's supposed to come out this year.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about The Deliverance, so I know some reshoots happened in the pre-strike days for the Deliverance.
Okay.
So yeah, that's 5 things that were filmed around here. That at least 2 of them are coming out in the near future, and the other 3 most likely before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then we just have to wait to see what else ends up coming here and what's able to come here given the Hollywood landscape.
There you go.
Josh, have we invited you to a warmer podcast? No, the one on the river was really hot.
Oh, it was sweaty.
Remember that
Oh,
one?
I do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was 2
Nice.
years ago. Isn't that crazy?
Where does everybody
That's
find you,
insane.
follow
Yeah.
you?
That might have been before I got engaged.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how long
yes.
ago that was.
Yeah.
God, it was so hot it burned off our phone. Our phone died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Where can we find out more info for people who don't follow you? I don't know who doesn't.
You can find me on Twitter at Jaxelberg with an H. You can find me on Instagram and now on Threads at JAxel22. And you can find my work at post-gazette.com.
Nice.
We love it. Josh, if you were headed to a porch party or you were hosting a porch party, what is your go-to? It's kind of like your tailgate, like Josh is known for.
Known for going to the store and grabbing something. My go-to, if at all possible in those situations, is a Giant Eagle cookie cake.
Oh, yeah. My kids would love that.
okay.
Roman's favorite.
No one has ever been upset when
Right.
I show up with one of those guys.
Do you get it written on, like Happy Summer, or no, plain?
I'm usually buying them on my way to said event, so probably not. But if I had the time, that would be great.
Got it.
Got it.
That is so
Josh,
funny.
We can't
Josh,
tell you how
always
much
a pleasure.
you enjoyed the Halushki. Get to enjoy some other food over there.
Yeah,
There's
thanks
a
for always
ton of it
feeding
here.
me wherever we go. The last
Well.
time you had me at that kitchen.
Oh,
and
Right.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
lovely.
Oh, yeah.
We try.
Right.
We
well,
try.
we do our best. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Tim Vitullo
Tim
music,
Vitullo.
and then Tim Vitullo next. All right. We're getting through, everybody.
I know. I could talk to Josh for hours, though. Like, I just want to know all the scoop.
Like, talking
I
to
don't
Josh
watch-
Axelrod
Yeah.
is on a porch is kind of the exact scenario.
Yes.
Let's just sit around and swing. And
We created
you know.
it. We pretend that we're helping Zachary's mission. No, I'm just kidding. I'm JK, Patricia. You know I love you.
All right.
Tim Vitullo.
Tim Vitullo. Well, Tim Vitullo, welcome to an outside podcast with us.
Yeah.
Is this your first outside podcast with us?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've kept it indoors.
Yeah.
Which is good.
All
I
right.
mean, it's a treat to get out.
Have you had a chance to eat any of the food that Scott and Lynn have provided here today?
I have not yet. I don't want to go viral as the food spitting singer.
Yes.
So,
Understood.
Yeah.
but
I get
there's
it.
a pan of stromboli that as soon as we're done,
Okay.
You're hitting it.
I'm hitting a beeline.
All right.
Tim, you know, you've always been known. John always refers to you as the Jimmy Neutron. You know, that's when he first met you. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
this is his memory.
Yep.
Was my mom's liver event, you
Yep.
know, the ultimate liver. And you were one of the performers he had not heard before.
Yeah.
You blew him away. From there, he's gotten his son to follow you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, any opportunity we can have you, obviously, we're in.
Thanks.
But he's
Always glad
like
to be here.
the Jimmy Neutron guy. And you're changing your style. What's
I'll take
going
it.
on?
I'll take it. Yeah, you know, it's getting a little older, summertime, trying to keep it a little more trim.
Okay.
You know, trying
Fair
to
enough, yeah.
keep cool.
I got it. It's a great
Yeah.
look for you.
Well,
What have you
thanks.
been up to? Because we've not seen you for probably a year.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
How's the music going?
Been a minute. Things have been going well. A little bit slower as far as performance stuff this year. Just it's hard juggling schedules all the time. As you guys know, you got an operation, but still getting out. It's funny. We're here. July kind of ended up being our world domination of the South Hills.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We were
is
just
that
in-
right?
In Bridgeville last night. We're here. I'll be back in like Upper St. Clair in a couple weeks at
Okay.
Recon.
Oh,
Brewing up at
yeah.
Hastings.
Okay.
So
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
nice.
everybody here at the porch, Tim's going to be where next? Wait, where and when? South Hills.
I think it's Thursday the 20th at Recon Brewing.
All
Thursday
right.
the 20th.
Recon
Well,
Brewing.
don't
Yeah.
go there. First come to Colin's show, and then
Yeah,
go
Then,
listen.
yeah,
Yeah,
be
yeah,
over
yeah.
early. Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you, Tim, but we're
Yes.
pushing this stuff, you know?
Unfortunately, yeah.
No. Tim, it's always a pleasure to see you because you really relate well to your crowd. You know, you
Thanks.
have a really good opportunity to, like, you know, you're younger, but you know how to reach an audience that's much older. We saw you last, I think, I'm embarrassed to say, the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
the
That
last
was a
time
great
we saw
show.
you. It was a great show.
was a great
but
show. That was really
you
fun.
really resonate with so many different audiences. Is it from experience? Is it because you're doing like small to large venues? What do you relate that to?
We always joke. I'm 7 going on 70.
Right. Same.
So I'm definitely like, whenever like I take off my rock and roll clothes, like I'm at home and it's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And like that, but I do have a very youthful kind of childish excitement
For sure.
about all of it. So I always try to keep that in mind that there are people looking for a lot of different experiences whenever they go out to see a band. There's
Sure.
hey, I just want to have a cocktail and have some music in the background and maybe see a show and just kind of be alone with my thoughts for a little bit and enjoy that. Or there are the people who want to get up and dance on tables and,
Yeah.
Sure.
and really go crazy. So
Yeah.
I think whenever I put a set list together, I try to keep all those people in mind and
Yeah.
don't let it get too long in the tooth for one person.
Right.
Hey, they haven't heard something that really turns them on, and
Right.
I'm really kind of pandering.
Well,
to
and not only
one side
that,
of the
but
crowd.
you can come as a single, as a duo, as a trio, as a
Yeah.
band, right?
Yeah, and that's been a great thing. That was the great silver lining of the pandemic.
Sure.
We had all these capacity requirements on venues, and I love playing with my band. Like that's if
Yes.
I have my druthers, I want to
Right.
play music with other
Yes.
people. That's the goal always. But yeah, all these venues looked at us and said, "Hey, if you have 3 band members come, that's 3 patrons I can't bring into my venue, and I'm really hurting." So I really got limited to it. So really, it was a nice challenge, and I got out and started doing some different stuff as a solo act that is really fun. And what I like last night we played as the band, and you're kind of seeing me do the acoustic. I'll bring now for the solo act the electric guitar, so you still get all the
Yeah,
Okay,
oh,
yeah.
kind of
he loves
fireworks.
that.
And I've been doing more like looping, so you like kind of
Yeah,
record
uh-huh.
phrases underneath what you're doing, and it kind of
It does
whenever I
add.
get out of control, I kind of create this symphony of guitars
Yeah.
while I'm playing.
I love it.
And I think it's been a really cool thing that's really different from the band. So what's helped is I can put a lot more shows in closer proximity, and people who really like that show can come to that one, and people who really want to see the band kind of dig in and get really loud come to that one. And
it doesn't cannibalize your audience as
Sure.
much.
Yeah,
which is
good
great.
point.
Yeah.
Give people a bunch of different looks.
Yep.
Nice. Most recent song you wrote?
Oh man, most recent song I wrote.
Here's a little song I wrote.
You know what I've been getting into a whole bunch this year is I've been getting back into jazz, and I did a jazz record in college. So I've been working on some different instrumental things that we may sneak out into some shows. Just
Okay.
like a fun project. I don't know if it'll ever materialize into like an official album or I don't know if it's necessarily the new direction per se, but I've been coming up with some of that stuff, and it's been really fun and rewarding.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you always hanging out with
Love
us
it.
here. Yeah.
For people who don't know, where can they find you, follow you, all that good stuff, and we get to hear another song?
Yeah.
Harold and Harriet, they live under a rock, literally, so they may not have heard of you.
Yeah, so again, you can find me online at timvitullo.com. That's V as in Victor, I, T as in Tom, U-L-L-O, and at Tim Vitullo on social media.
It's easy enough, right?
Yeah, just search it. You can Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, ask Siri, ask Alexa, play Tim Vitullo, and
I love that.
they'll cue it up for you.
I love it. Ask John. John plays Tim Vitullo constantly.
I did.
Any answer, anytime we have a podcast that's like a last minute thing or John's like, is Tim Vitullo available?
Oh,
like,
thanks.
seriously, it is truly you are one of the musicians who he has really taken a liking.
Well, thank you.
I feel like I've known you, so that's why I.
Yeah, no, it's always a treat. It's always something really different that we normally get to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice
We
to
love
get
it.
to
catch up a little.
Yeah,
We
shoot
love
the
it.
breeze a little.
And you work for Peoples Gas, yes?
I do.
So
Yeah.
there you go.
Whoa. How about that?
Yeah,
So
gotta rep Peoples.
Who didn't want to throw out the whole fact that it is the Peoples Gas Porch Tour, right, John?
Yes, that's
All right.
exactly right.
Say our
Very
thank
on
yous.
brand.
Can we steal that microphone for
Yeah.
1 second?
Yeah,
so
here.
we can.
Oh, we're all tied up in our sign.
Okay. Okay.
Tracy to the rescue.
That's
here.
right. We'll do it in these.
She's
We'll do it
always
in
to the
these.
rescue.
Oh, you want to do it in that?
There you go.
Okay. All right. Cool. People's gas here. Rach, do this real quick. Rach.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Do we know that he's yelling? Does everybody hear him
yell at
yelling
all.
at me?
All right,
Go,
here we
John, go. Did you know?
Did you know the Pennsylvania law requires you to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig? Tim knew that. That's not just for contractors and big projects. It's even for homeowners working on simple projects.
Like a mailbox or expanding your garden, you also need to call 811 before you dig. Tim, give us a little purr while you finish it out. It's free for you as a homeowner or a renter, and it's the law. Peoples-gas.com.
Nice. All right, here we go with another song. Give us a little music bed, I guess, as Rachel reads our credits, right? Here, I'll take this one.
All right, so thank you so much to our homeowners, Scott and Lynn. We had an amazing time on his Facebook page. You can actually go to donate for Zachary's Mission. Zachary's Mission is an amazing opportunity to help a really good cause. Also, thank you so much to Josh Axelrod for coming out here and being the amazing writer that he is. Thank you so much to Doodle Dogs. Follow them. They're a new place that you can go get a hot dog out of a cart. Doesn't get any better than that in the Old North Side, where we're from. And thanks to one of our favorite musicians, Tim Vitullo, for coming with us. And obviously thanks to Peoples Gas for sponsoring and to Rorick Honda. Get the best experience of customer service and maintenance of your Rorick Advantage at the Service Center on West Liberty Avenue. Visit RorickHonda.com for all of your vehicle needs and check out our blog posts. Have a great weekend, you guys.
Yeah. We good for a song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready.
Sweet.
Denial feels like a warm shower. Wash away your dirt for a couple of hours. Like the sunrise on the 885. Remind you how it feels to be alive. Tell it to me. Brother told you that life would be pretty, surrounded by lights in the big city. Did you know that he was leading you on? There's no money left and your friends are all gone. Brother, tell it to me. Oh, well, well, well. Can anybody tell that the words are all wrong. Man was only trying to sell. Well, 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 can anybody tell that the sides are out of focus and now you got a name for that? Charlie got lost just the other night. Old dog's been swimming in brown water just so he can hide. Running around like there's nowhere to go. You're gonna drown yourself before your window can close. Well, 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 can anybody tell that the words are all wrong? The man was only trying to sell. Well, 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 can anybody tell that the sides are out of focus and now you got a name for that? Never wanted all that much, just enough will always do. All the colors, lack thereof, are finally showing through. Well, 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 can anybody tell that the words are all wrong? Man was only trying to sell. Well, 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 can anybody tell that the sides are out of focus and now you got a name for that? Help, it's black and white, wonderful. Oh, Charlie, it's black and white, wonderful. Oh, Charlie, it's black and white, wonderful.
That's it, gang. Have a good Saturday. Zachary's Mission.